Thanks for joining us from the Ohio AgNet, voice you know with the news you trust studio, sponsored by BASF, where the performance of Veltima fungicide can take your best results even further. I'm Dusty Sonnenberg. Well, bright sunshine, 89 degrees on the barn thermometer. It is a hot one out there. We hope you're enjoying this Independence Day holiday. Wheat harvest is off and rolling all around the Buckeye State. I'm going to get out and shoot a cab cam yet this afternoon. Be sure to stay safe this holiday weekend, especially with the heat. Well, let's check in now with Dale Minyo as he has an update on the soybean crop from Valent.
Joining me is Will Griffin, and he's the row crop segment manager for Valent USA. And Will, I understand you just did some traveling. Could you give me an update? What does the soybean condition of the crop look like where you've been traveling?
It's variable. I live in Mississippi, and I just drove up to Seymour, Illinois. Wide cross-section of the soybean growing area. Variable is probably the best way to say it. The further north you go, the better the crops look. I was amazed at the crop stages as we got into Illinois. We came across through parts of Tennessee and Missouri, and all in all, the soybean crop is in pretty good shape.
Well, Will, as you approach this then, as a row crop segment manager for Valent, how will Valent look at this situation and decide how do we help producers?
Our approach traditionally has been really focusing on overlapping residuals, making sure you get a pre-emergent down. The overlapping residual component of it is Perpetuo from our perspective. It's a great post-emerge product. It's really good in all soybean systems, whether it's Enlist or Extend or whatever the system is. And it goes really well with most other chemistries. So you can come in with Perpetuo, increase your activity on post-emerge weeds that are up, and then it's got some pyroxysulfone in it, so you get some residual in there as well. So we can come in early with our Fierce brands or Valerie Z, get that foundation established to start clean, and then you come in with that overlapping residual, and you're able to stay clean throughout the season. Reduces your weed pressure going into the next year, but it also gives you a really good, clean crop to harvest.
Well, what's the website we can gather more information? Because you listed quite a number of products there pretty quickly.
You can go to valent.com.
And thank you, Will Griffin, Valent USA.
And thanks, Dale. Well, let's take a look now at your 4th of July and into the weekend forecast brought to us by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance online at seedconsultants.com.
Plenty of heat and humidity building over the region over the next few days. I'm Chief Meteorologist Ryan Martin. Let's take a look at that Ohio Ag weather update. Nothing major, nothing new here. Heat and humidity, the number one story. We're definitely more muggy today than yesterday, tomorrow, and Sunday. Downright oppressive. Well above normal temperatures and high humidity. Make sure you include plenty of water in your plans for the weekend. I'm talking mostly about ingesting water, but if you want to be in it, swimming at the lake, what have you, probably a good thing to do as well. The heat and humidity will trigger thunderstorms to get started next week, overnight Sunday night into Monday, lingering into Tuesday in southern parts of the state. So moisture is coming, but not soon. I'm Ryan Martin.
And thanks, Ryan. Well, the one big beautiful bill passage by both the House and the Senate and now being signed into law by President Donald Trump today, still making agricultural headlines. We're going to catch up with National Cattlemen's Beef Association's Kent Backus, sharing some details about the ag provisions of the bill.
The House of Representatives passed the one big beautiful bill. They adopted the Senate's changes, and they did so with a vote of 218 to 214. Now the next step is this will go to President Trump for his signature and become law. This is a significant win for cattle producers all across the United States because it delivers certainty on a lot of expiring tax provisions that were making it very difficult to plan businesses and to plan transitions to the next generation. One of the key provisions in there is that this really does a lot to provide more certainty regarding the death tax. The death tax exemption is increased to $15 million per individual, $30 million per couple. That's adjusted for inflation annually, and it's made permanent. And I think that's a key provision because this isn't something that is set to expire in 4 or 5 years. This is permanent. And so that's going to make it a lot more predictable, easier to plan. Another key victory in this is that the step-up in basis remains untouched. And so that is also provides another level of certainty for our producers. We're also excited to see that the 199A small business deduction is made permanent at 20%. That Section 179 expensing is increased to $2.5 million, and that bonus depreciation has been restored to 100%. And that too has been made permanent. These are all very important tools for our producers, and having that certainty, having the expectation that they can plan around a tax policy that is not going to change in just a few years, that provides a lot more opportunity to take risk, to make investments, and to work with their families to transition to the next generation.
Again, those are the comments of National Cattlemen's Beef Association. Kent Backus, Executive Director of Government Affairs. Well, let's take a look now at the markets brought to us by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance online at seedconsultants.com. Of course, the markets closed today for the Independence Day holiday, but looking back to the close yesterday, July corn was up 2 1/4 cents at 431.5. July soybeans up 5 3/4 at 10.56 1/4 cents, and wheat for July down 8 1/4 at 5.47 3/4 cents. Have a happy 4th of July and stay safe in the heat out there. You're listening to the Ohio AgNet.